Who wants to remind us where our main crew has ended up? Cool. Nobody knows where the main crew is.
Well, in my defense, I dipped out early. So last I
On the
checked,
ship.
we killed Keeper, and that's it.
So we killed Keeper because Keeper is
A bitch.
for all the things that they may have kept, they did not keep their word because they were definitely evil or something. It was not a good vibe. We don't trust them. So we took care of Keeper, and then after we took care of Keeper, we went over to their little altar thing that they were defending very vehemently and found mysterious substance of some kind. It was pitch black and it looked ominous, and Booker wanted it, but everyone was like, don't. And he was like, fine, all right, fair. And then we wired it to some magical devices so that we had a big old magic pile. And then Micken was like, perfect, I can make this into a bigger bomb. And so he did. And then we rigged it, and then we left, and it blew up beautifully. And now we are back on the ship.
Back on the ship, as you watch the god corpse implode, and sparks and flashes of wild magic crackle along it, along crevices that were already there, splitting open large flat plains of stone. And all of you can feel just this rush and release of magic, even those of you that are not quite as magically attuned. It just surrounds you and explodes outward into the astral sea. But it does little more than cause some momentary turbulence for the ladybug as it is rocketed forward and away from the ship, still towing Garzad's ship behind it. And all of you did manage to make it safely back onto the ladybug, onto the Lady Luck. And there's just that moment of silence and that kind of disbelief of, okay, that was a whole bunch of weird shit, and we managed to survive mostly. Real close there for a minute. But eventually you all feel your nerves start to settle as most of you have come back to home. And Koya, you are not home, but damn does it feel better to be on this ship than it did to be on and in that floating rock. What are y'all doing?
Get on the crew, make sure that the non-PC crew are still there and all accounted for. No one's missing.
You see that Starbow is still in his place, seemingly a little miffed that he was not able to continue throwing rocks at things. He thought it was a lot of fun when the bugs were attacking before you went into the heart. And Crux and Flinch are there to greet you on the deck. I do tell you there's some butting of heads that has happened between Grimzod and Zidali, but they are still there. Grimzod has just fucked off back to his ship for the most part, though.
Okay, well, this is fine. This is fine. He can go and pout on his own ship if he wants to. He can leave his friends behind. But what about it's been a while since we've talked to the crew at length. what's his name? The hippo.
Crux.
Crux.
Yeah, he's there. He greets you as soon as you get onto the ship and helps you
Thank
start
God.
the ladybug into motion. He does seem
Okay.
rather appreciative of the explosion as you guys escape from it. Kinda impressed. A little confused.
Okay. Well, if everyone's still here, and if the ship is all well and done and blown up, then if I remember correctly, we're pretty much done and on our way to Doomspace still, right? Back on course?
Yep. And there are spoils of war Button must study, namely Keeper's books. So they're about to go be a fucking gremlin in a corner for like 10 hours straight.
One of your bits of homework between last time and this time for the crew that has been here for a second. Of what do each of you want to do? You take a look at the orrery as you exit the space around the former god corpse and start on your path again. And it shows that you're going to take probably another 11, 12 days to get to the outer edges of Doomspace, let alone traversal within Doomspace itself. So, what are all of you doing in this about week and a half time period that you have stretching out before you? Macon is straight up just gonna fucking pass out for about 24 hours, so don't disturb that boy, because he is tapped completely.
Tuck him in. Give him a blankie.
He used every single spell slot he had, plus some to go into some exhaustion levels to make the bomb.
Good work, Micken. Godspeed.
Godspeed.
I have a question. Just because creatures don't need sleep, can they sleep?
Yes.
Because it's also taking 24 hours to sleep.
Fuck that. Why would you sleep when you could be reading?
Booker agrees.
The only ones that it's a little weird for can they sleep is if it's constructs like Button, undead of some sort, or I would say elves get a little weird because of the trance stuff. But beyond that, if it's like you don't need to sleep, then yeah, you can choose to sleep if you want.
Kexie's just being lazy, that's all.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Button because Amy has been very forceful. I know exactly what I'm doing for a little bit. Let me open this list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be needing you to roll some D100s.
Understood.
Let's see what you end up getting on this. You end up managing to get 3 books that are in good enough condition to take and use. So I need you to roll 3 D100s.
Okie doke. 1. What's a 0 is a ones place, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I got a 5. Then I have a 93. Put these in chat for you. And then I have a 47.
Okay. 47.
You know, I got low, high, middle.
You know, this is actually interesting.
Perfectly balanced.
This might be this might be good if you are informing the others of what you find as well. So the first book you get.
That depends on if they'll listen.
Well, I I know one person is going to be interested in this. First one you get is in common. It's entitled Nightwalkers.
That's sick. Okay.
And it's functionally a guidebook, general information on creatures that hunt humans.
Huh.
Which includes vampires and werewolves and hags and things of that ilk.
Well, that's sick. Okay, cool.
I would suggest that you remember to use that because that can be used for your benefit later on.
Understood. A surprise tool to help us later.
Let me see. What languages does Button know?
They know Common, Draconic, Druidic, Gnomish, and Sylvan.
But not Elfish.
Nope.
So this is a book that you are able to get the title. It's a borrowed word that, you know, roughly means vile. V-I-L-E. And it is handwritten at what you look at the first couple pages. It is in very nice, neat handwriting, but it gets increasingly messy and kind of slanted and just harder and harder to read, or it looks like it will become harder and harder to read the further into this journal that you go.
Okay, cool.
And it is 100% Elvish, and the only other information that you are able to surmise without knowing Elvish is that the author, you're not sure if it's the author or somebody that the author is talking about a lot, is named Koyu, K-O-Y-U, Curfdy. C-U-R-F-D-E.
C-U-R-F-D-E.
And then the last one that you have found, get to that one, is in Gnomish, luckily for you.
Hey!
It's called Alchemy of the Flesh. It's a dark green tone. Very old, soft leather. And as you flip through it, you realize that it's a manual of sorts on how to use humanoid viscera and organs to enhance potions.
Interesting.
But very specifically, humanoid.
Gotcha.
Now, if you want to try and see if one of your crewmates knows Elvish and would be willing to translate a book for you, you can just try to translate the other one.
Does anyone know Elvish? Announcement on the PA.
Not I.
I do not. I know Celestial, Primordial, and Deep Speech.
Could we all just go, man,
Finn
someone's
does.
gotta... Finn,
Yeah.
you know what? Perfect.
I love that,
Makes
like,
sense.
Elvish is one of the most basic fucking languages.
Basic.
And,
What
like... Yeah.
Wouldn't the lady that's on our ship right now, wouldn't she know
She's not gonna fucking translate something for Button.
it? What's that?
Jadali is very clearly making an effort that unless she is spoken directly to, she is not interacting very much. She is not volunteering the interaction. And the
Well,
interaction
that's
is
no way to make
kept
friends.
efficient and to the point.
And we have my enemy. Oh well. Understood. It'll go into the we'll translate later pile. New mission. Find someone that knows Elvish.
Oh boy, Finn,
Or-
you're in for some trouble.
Or comprehend languages. That would be helpful right about now.
Is that something Button can learn?
I don't know that that's a druid spell.
Maybe?
Well, it should be, I think. I know tongues is a druid spell. Does Micken know Micken does know comprehend language, so he can, if you get him a couple of days in once he is recovered and
Micken!
relaxed.
Micken!
It's like reading a bedtime story.
It's really not. So
Yes, hello, Micken.
Get a couple of days in and you're able to bother him. And you find out Vile is a diatribe, a full-on rant, book-length rant, about this Koyu Kirfty, who was a merchant. And seemingly, he's not really doing anything wrong. But this writer, whoever it is, seems to be absolutely convinced that he is essentially like the devil himself. Like, it's the most Karen of Karen rants you have ever heard.
Understood.
And let me look at this really fast.
Did he sell low quality copper?
It's not even like low quality. It's just like, how dare he think that I don't know what I'm wanting when it, like, the question is like, well, what would you be having, or I would like to suggest or special for today. That type of vibe. However, Micken does tell you after he spends a couple minutes like reading through the first couple pages and examining the book that there's some sort of magic on this book. And it's a magic that he does not like. As he is telling you this, it's to the point where like he is kind of just like poking it with the end of a pen rather than touching the book.
Ah, I see. Understood. Back in the bag. Study later.
He's not fully sure what it is. He tried identify on it. But he does not want to touch it again.
Fills you with hate this one guy disease. Maybe that's it for Button. Other than that, they're just gonna be flying the ship.
Are you wanting to learn something? Because you have 12 days. Or work on something.
Arcana!
Let me look at something really fast. Does he have this? Where did your sheet go, buddy?
No, Button has been bothering Micken so much because they're learning Arcana from Micken.
And I also point out for a discussion as Micken is being brought up. Micken, if I remember correctly, y'all snatched up a book from the Night Witch.
Yeah, I got yoinked and thrown to Micken, right?
It's her spellbook.
Feed the wizard.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if
And he
you
was
guys
like
want,
disgusted by it.
yeah, if you want to spend
mhm.
the money, he can learn how to cast magic missile by itself. He can learn Toll of the Dead, Rave Enfeeblement, and Sleep. None of those he knows by himself. But it will cost gold for all of those.
Magic missile is good to learn. The other
Yeah, I
ones
was
are
gonna
probably
say.
not as relevant. There's a part of me that's like, teach him everything because teach the wizard. But I don't think we would prepare sleep ever for all of his other more useful spells.
Any other opinions, including those that are not part of this, because this is the group NPC.
Any opinions?
I mean, Magic Missile has gone a long way for me on BG3, so I'm down.
That's a good one.
He gets use out of his wand, but his wand only has so many.
Backup
I would
strategy.
I would actually say grab sleep, personally.
All right, it's only level 1, so it's not expensive.
Yeah, my reasoning is like it's not a crazy spell, but for like that niche thing, it could be useful.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Sneaking in and trying to like knock out some like base level mooks as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
Okay. Double check this.
How much is it to teach him Toll the Dead cantrip?
I'm double checking that right now.
Give the boy a damaging cantrip that has some chest hair.
Does he want chest hair?
No, the cantrip has chest hair.
So it'd be, I would rule that as like 10 gold for a cantrip.
Yeah.
Aside from that, every level is 50 gold. So it'd be 50 gold for magic missile. Sleep is also a level 1 if I'm not mistaken, or is that level 2?
Yeah, it's a level 1.
So that's another 50 gold for sleep. So if you're wanting sleep, magic missile, and Toll of the Dead, that's 110 gold.
Expensive.
I'm fine with that.
How much gold do we have? I don't know.
So if I remember correctly, we are tracking gold individually. I have 1,065.
Yeah, y'all.
I believe Flicker was holding a good chunk of most of the gold.
Y'all were.
So I'm fine with splurging and getting Mick in 2.5 spells.
And I know a couple of you did have a good chunk of gold that you picked up through the course of the 2 dungeons.
I have none gold.
That's because Button wasn't looting.
Yeah.
Other people were looting.
I want to make it clear that I don't have any, so someone else.
Hold on, Button was
please
looting.
Have grabbed
Button was
it.
literally sprinting to chests.
But not for gold.
Not for gold.
Not for gold. They were looting. That is correct.
Did you have a question, Iris?
Oh, I'm triple checking my gold on both of my sheets because I'm not seeing very much. I know I got a lot of items that are worth gold.
Well, and generally how I rule it is if I tell you you get gems, unless you want to keep the gem for some reason, like, you know, as a possible magic conduit, as a bartering tool in the future. If you want to convert gems that you know that you'd sell anyway into gold, you could go ahead and do that.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that's what Trixie was picking up, was pretty shiny rocks.
Yeah, I got a lot of gems.
I'm down. Feed the wizard.
As a side note here, just saying this now, do we still want to keep separate gold, or do we want to have a group fund?
Can we have a group fund?
I remember, I think I said that I think it's fun because it, like, thematically, but I'm not going to say, like, oh, you can't spend it on that just because it's on Booker's sheet. I just think it's used group wise, but I just think it's easier to track when it's all in one place.
Well, it would make sense that the captain would hold the treasure, the key to the treasure coffers, right, guys?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to volunteer as the group fund for this game, Joe?
Yeah. Bookkeeping money is easy enough.
Give your crew an allowance. Give them all debit cards with a 10 gold limit.
This is just what iffy feels like.
Okay, so if we are centering the gold, let's go ahead.
Because I just find it hard.
Done so that we don't have to like make a bigger thing of it. Amy, is there any gold that you were handing over to Booker?
I have none.
Okay. Does Koya have any gold, Charlie?
10 whole pieces.
10 gold from Koya. Iris.
Cool.
I have 37. I do have a couple gems, but I kind of want to keep the gems. But I will offer
That's
them
fine.
if you need them.
Okay.
I'm fine with you keeping gems for fun if everyone else is fine with it.
Yeah.
37 from.
It's like a savings bond.
Go ahead and just add it from the future companions as well. Does Ori have any gold? Mandy.
Don't addition.
Will it be in your
Starting gold?
Yeah.
Oh, between like 5 to 15, somewhere like that.
I don't know. Let's see. Starting is just 10.
10 from Ori and Cody. Does Finn have any starting gold?
No. Oh wait, that's from your background, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. 15.
15.
Oh,
okay.
big spender.
It's swanky.
Okay.
That puts us at a perfectly crisp 1137 gold.
So if you're wanting to let Micken learn these 3 spells, take out 110 from it.
Can do.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
I know it's kind of like way late or whatever, but I think it would be kind of interesting. So, like, I know Liliana isn't a character anymore, but she did have that really cool like thing to make spells different thing.
Oh yeah, the lens.
Could we maybe give that to Micken? Because that kind of sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
I am fine with this too.
Remind me later to find that, put that on his sheet, because I have deleted the Liliana character, so I would have to dig it up again.
So, sorry, I was just thinking about that.
If there's anything else you remember Liliana having that was, you think, useful in any way, shape, or form, just let me know, and we can talk about giving that to somebody else. Because they are magic items that were brought into the campaign, so I don't want to take them away from you either. So that was Toll of the Dead.
I do like to imagine that the ship came with a
The
little
ladybug
pouch. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like in a Sea of Thieves when you have a ship spray or something, like a pattern on your ship, and it just coats the little chest inside the ship too.
Mm-hmm.
It's themed. All of it's themed. It's a package deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So that has been handled on Micken's sheet, the spellbook. So we come back around to Button. Say that you dealing with your books and having Micken translate it and such takes about 3 days. So you have 9 days left.
Cool. It's all going to be going towards learning Arcana.
Gotcha.
Blend is very one-track minded. They've read their books. They've updated their notes. Now it is time to study.
Going and then pulling that sheet up. So, Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, you're going to be rolling 9 times in a row if you're spending 9 days on this.
Okay.
So this will be intelligence at advantage.
Just straight intelligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's a 7?
Not gonna get you any points.
Nope, that's a 16.
That will get you 2 points.
Say 5.
Nope.
Say another 5.
Nope.
Sorry, not a 5. Sorry, that was a 4. My bad. That's an 8. God damn, okay.
With advantage?
I'm rolling 3s and 2s.
Oh.
17
17.
will get you 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 3 more times?
Yeah.
Okay. 19.
Get you 2.
16.
2.
I think that's it.
Get 1 more.
1 more? Okay, shit. 18.
Get you another 2.
Cool, I had all my low rolls in the beginning. Alright. So I have a 16, 17, 19, 16, 18. So.
And I believe... Hold on. We're looking at 25 points, what you're looking for in total?
Yeah.
Where are you
I
sitting at
need
now?
19.
Okay. Anything else you'd like? Any conversations Button would like to have during this time period?
I gotta talk to Booker eventually.
Yeah, that's
But
where
that can wait.
once we go
Yeah.
through our
Well,
Yeah.
once we go through our discussion of the mechanics of what's happening in these like 12 days, I
Yeah.
imagine there's going to be a discussion about a few things with Booker and the entire crew.
Yep. Eventually. So
immediately.
What is... Yeah. Where's the write-up thingy for the points for what I rolled?
That is under table rules.
Thank you. Okay, all done.
Okay. So then, Joe. Booker has 12 days. What's he gonna be doing mechanically for 12 days?
So I have a question. I have a Mind Flare tentacle that I've been working on for a while. Well, mechanically, I've been working on it for 7-ish days, because it takes, I think, 20-something to convert into a weapon. I'm at 13 days left. Can I convince you to let me do it in 12?
Sure. Because it's just 1 day off. Sure.
Perfect. Thank you. That is what Booker's going to be doing. I want that Mind Flare tentacle blade.
Cool. Oh shit.
Any other things you'd like to put on the docket? Any passive reading, anything like that?
If Booker has spare time to like read and investigate other things in between crafting. I do want him to look into. He has a book. Oh shit! It's in Dwarvish. We'll shelve that one. Killing the Unseen.
Okay.
Tips and tricks on how to kill difficult or hard to find creatures.
Why are you being annoying? Ah, there we go. So, as you're digging through that, just kind of passing, you do find you will not get any mechanical benefits from it at this point, but it is something you can mark down to spend time gaining mechanical benefits for it later. That most of it is detailed information on killing and finding particularly hard to find creatures. So like a discussion of how to figure out which moons lunar dragons are on. And, kind of what their lairs should look like, theoretically. And it does seem to be just generally helpful, useful information. But you flip through, and towards the end of the 12 days, you get to the last chapter. And you see the title of the chapter. A Theory and Treatise on the Permanent Death of Gods. And you realize that this lays out a theoretical way on how to permanently kill gods as mortals.
Holy shit, let's go. That's what I was hoping for, baby. Last chapter's getting framed.
On the fridge.
I don't know when I'm gonna need it, but I know I'm gonna need it eventually.
Okay. And moving on, Koya. So Charlie, just so that you're aware, I do a thing in this game that because there's so much downtime where you guys are just flying on the ship. If you look at table rules, some of the last posts in there, you can learn either from books that you might have acquired or from somebody else that might already be trained in something. You can learn different tools, you can learn different skills that you don't already have proficiency in, and you can learn languages from others. You just have to have something to learn from or somebody to teach you, and then it's a matter of rolling and collecting points until you officially can say that you have that. So that is an option for you to do mechanically. Otherwise, you can spend time crafting things. You can spend time reading things and researching things. All of that good shit. So is there anything that you think Koya would want to spend 12 days on?
Koya would want to spend her time with Mari's gem. Though training, I should be doing animal handling.
Does anybody have proficiency in animal handling currently?
Yee.
Would Button be willing to teach Koya, and would Koya ask Button?
Yeah, Koya would like to spend some time with Toad.
Yee.
You knew it was gonna be Toad.
So how
Of
many
course.
days would you like to spend mechanically on doing this?
You said we had 12?
Yes.
Let's do 6.
Okay. So animal handling is a wisdom skill. So I will need 6 wisdom checks, and you can find a place on your sheet or somewhere that you're keeping notes for Koya. Probably Oblivion, if I am guessing correctly. You need a total of 25 points to mark it as a skill that you have proficiency in. But you are learning from button, so you can roll 6 wisdom checks at advantage. Okay. Ooh.
Ooh. God damn.
Why can't you roll
That's
this
money.
good on your fucking wisdom saves?
Yeah,
Not
that's
allowed.
the way we roll.
It's a little out of
There we
practice.
go. There's classic Koya.
Okay. So 17 is 2 points, 16 is 2 points, 22 is 3 points, and then the two 17s are 2 and 2. 2, 4, 8, 11 total points towards the 25 that you need.
Thank you,
Not-
Miss God.
Not that shabby. I'll say as you're spending time with Mari's gem and the handful of other gems that you have managed to collect that you're pretty sure are also seeds for spirits and sprites and others from your home. You can feel that it is incrementally getting stronger. And there is a comfort in having them and knowing that there is a chance in the future that they may come into being again and come into consciousness again. However, Koya would know that, especially for ones that are so tied to specific natural phenomena like Mari is, they need to be someplace that is of that nature. Mari needs to be in water and near water to get to full strength and to get to full strength faster. We're not talking about a cup of water, we're talking about a lake or a river. But they're getting as strong as they can manage, slowly but surely, being away from that place of death and draining. Is there anything else you would like to do with Koya?
That is it for me.
Okay, Iris. What is Trixie doing? You got 12 days.
So I actually got a book from this dungeon. I don't remember if I was given a title or not. If that is not something you have offhand, I have a couple of options.
No, I need you to give me the titles of shit, or like, give me the information, some of the information so I can look things up.
I just remember it was in like a desk. It was before Trixie got her weapon.
A desk in the brain, probably.
Yeah.
Amy,
What's up?
would you happen to be able to do a search in your notes, see if you made notes of Trixie getting a book?
When?
Be in the brain.
Getting ready to journey of the heart.
I know Button got some stuff there too. But that's not much help, I know.
That's the... I don't know what I called it, so I don't know if I can look for it.
Section
Seems to be
39.
a handwritten journal of some sort. It has a simple title, Travel Through Space? Space? Is that what you're talking about?
Possibly. Does that sound like the right one, Iris?
I don't remember what it was called. I just remember it caught Trixie's attention. That's about it.
Well, this is what I've got.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had the spelling right, so I just sounded it out. So
Yeah.
here you go.
Crit
Good luck.
Space, I do know what that is. That is another crystal sphere.
Yep.
Oh, that'll work. I'll take that.
Okay, that is going to be something I get to send you because that is my next write-up.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Understood.
full ass write-up that is happening. Unless I have that already. Let me see. Where was I posting this middle knowledge? Yeah. I am still working on the current space one. Essentially, you will have, when that write-up comes out, if you want to have, say that Trixie spent time reading that journal, a couple of days reading that journal, the entirety of that write-up, Trixie will be able to say that she knows.
Okay. How many days would I need to invest into that, though?
If you want to have it, like, her pretty much memorize it, so that she can just, like, say it offhand, should you guys end up in current space, it would be about 3 days, which means you still have 9 days.
Yeah. Oh, I'll do it.
Okay, so you can mark down the Trixie is a expert on current space.
That's my learning stuff section. The other thing I'd like to practice a bit, spend 4 days on, would be tattoo proficiency.
Okay, so that will be 4 int checks.
These are... Why weren't you roll? Okay. I'm just gonna roll d20s. They're at -1.
Okay. Okay, so a 13 will get you 1 point, 16 will get you 2, 13 will get you 1 point, 5 will get your 4 will get you nothing.
So 4 points towards that?
Yep.
Okay.
That leaves you 5 more days.
Okay. Trixie would actually like to spend a bit of time with Koya, and learn some of their culture, if that's okay. Maybe some of their native language. That's Mark.
Koya's down. Mm-hmm.
So would Koya be willing to spend 5 days teaching Trixie some Oni?
Is it Oni or is it Giant?
I will leave it up to you as to which one you would prefer.
We can pog. We're going with Oni.
So you can add Oni into your own language list. Charlie. If Koya is teaching Oni to Trixie, that's 5. What was I saying? Language is going to be int again, but at advantage.
8. So I'll just do 5 rolls. 5 doubles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All at -1.
Okay, so a 15, you need 18 points for language.
Okay.
So a 15 will net you 2 points. A 11 will net you 1. 15 will net you 2. 10 is no points. And a nat 20, even though technically you'd have a 19, since it was a nat 20, I'll give you the 20. It's 3 points.
Yay. So 8 points. Okay. 8
About
points into
halfway there.
Yeah.
Just under. You have
Definitely that
the ability now to have a very stilted, very basic conversation about like weather and food. But you know, it feels good to be speaking your own language, Koya.
Duolingo Oni.
I love that this ship we just teach each other skills. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
It's very good. Team bonding.
And at some point, I'll teach you how to read a tree.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah. I know it's a very like basic mechanic, but I hope you all do enjoy it. I think it's neat
Hell
to be
yeah.
able to improve your character.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And like
mhm.
throughout that, Trixie is asking a whole bunch of questions about Koya's culture as well and different stories, and she's just super curious.
You know, if you have space and time, Charlie, because I know you do like writing a little bit, because I imagine Trixie would be asking these questions. If you want to come up with some, or co-op, some fairy tales, Aesop fables type bullshit that you think would be fun for Bodhi, and share with the class, I will give you inspiration every single time you give me one.
Yo. I'm assuming the silence is positive.
I see Charlie typing and then not typing and then typing and not typing.
We can't find the emote. I'm down.
But that covers the mechanics of the evening, or not the evening, of the travel through the astral sea. There's not a whole hell of a lot more that goes on. However, let me look at this really fast. It's on this one. Where is, yes, see. I need 2 different people to give me d20s. Just straight d20
Dibs.
rolls.
I called the second one.
2
17.
and a 17. Okay. Find this. So, this would probably be interesting and entertaining for some of you, as you are flying a few days out from the God Corpse. You guys have pretty much recovered now. I'll say this here and now, so there's not a question later. Everybody make sure you have clicked your long rest buttons. You've had long rests. You see a very small ship starts to cross your path, and it veers off course. You realize it's a dragonfly ship. It's one that's only really designed for 2 or 3 people at most. Really, at 2 people it gets crowded. And it goes past you in front of you, and then turns and starts to head towards Ladybug. And dragonfly ships have no offensive capability, so there's not an overt sense of, oh shit, there's somebody going to attack. It's like, what the fuck? It's
Who
like
the fuck are
being
you?
on a nice big sailing boat and somebody in like a canoe starts heading your direction. As it comes close enough, you see that it is modeled slightly different. In the cockpit you see a flump. So the same as the former first mate of the Ladybug.
Flapjack.
And where the space would be for a second or third person is in fact a giant glass sphere filled with water. And inside you see fish swimming. And the flump waves one tentacle so you get within sight, and as the dragonfly pulls up beside the ladybug, he leans out and over towards all of you. And who would have come up onto deck to see what the fuck is going on?
Booker for sure.
Let's see too.
But Koya, are you all also on deck?
Yeah, Koya will.
Probably. It's like, what the fuck is this? I must know.
So as he pulls up beside, he smiles brightly and tips a bright red fez in your direction. It's a pleasure seeing a whole bunch of people out here, and it's been a minute or two since I've seen a ship out in this direction, or at least crossed paths with it properly. I should introduce. I am Natterjack.
Booker will hold up a hand in greeting and say, "Ahoy there, Natterjack. I'm Captain Booker." And he gestures to the crew of the Ladybug. What are you doing out here?
Well, fishing for the most part. And selling. I don't suppose. Well, would any of you be interested in? Do you have an aquarium on your ship? You see one tentacle reach out and pat the glass sphere behind him, and this is huge by comparison.
The fish salesman, but not in the way that I would have expected. Booker will is not unhappy or angry at this dude, but he's a little confused. He's out here collecting fish to just keep them in a little aquarium, and he's selling them to just whoever passes by.
Yep.
This dude's fucking mental. And he'll
I want one.
physically look over to the crew. Does the crew seem interested in having fish?
Yes.
Wyatt is very interested.
So interested.
Booker will read that and just look back and be like, well, we don't have an aquarium already set up on our ship here, but don't suppose you keep a spare aquarium set up with you, do you?
I do have a smaller one suitable for some of the smaller varieties that I have. If you are indeed interested in taking a look at a few of them.
Yes.
I'm pretty curious myself.
You see him just kind of clap two tentacles together. There is no clapping sound, but the motion is made. You just see that grin come back that had kind of started to falter as he's stumbling over himself. Oh, some anglers as well. This is fantastic. Let me. And he starts fussing and moving all around, floating around this bowl of an aquarium. And we're talking about like an aquarium that is probably the size of like an extra large like pickup truck that has been placed on the back of this dragonfly. And you see him messing with a few things. Now I know I have this somewhere. Give me 2 seconds to pull this up. I'd like you to know, Joe, that this is the one that you rolled.
What?
I am so
okay.
happy.
I thought this dude was going to be fishing out here, and he was going to be like, hey, do you guys want to buy some fish to eat? And we'll be like, nah, I got a fishing pole. We can catch our own fish. And he's like, do you want to buy some fish to be pets? No, we... What?
No, we looks at his crew. Everyone's into it. Fuck, I guess we are.
I guess everyone's interested in having a pet fish.
Mm-hmm. This is space fish.
True. Where do we need water? What is it?
These?
What does this
Yes.
aquarium look like? Okay.
Because you need to be able to. While they are in the astral sea, and this would be something all of you would know. While they are in the astral sea, you don't necessarily need water for them. However, as soon as you go into a crystal sphere, into a solar system, they would need something like an aquarium to survive.
Oh. Gotcha.
So this is one of those things of, unfortunately, if you're just staying in the astral sea, you could just give them a fucking room and they'd be fine.
It's fine. Button can learn create or destroy water. Just gonna spam that before we go anywhere.
My fish book is being annoying because I have a fish book.
Where's the bongo meme? This is me. Also, Finn, you
Channeling
can't
your-
eat the pet fish. You cannot cook
I was
them.
also thinking that.
I mean,
Yeah,
if we're desperate, they're getting cooked.
I don't care if they're delicacies.
So, no, don't close. Why are you closing? Open again, you fucker.
How dare?
What's Kira's character in fucking Call of Cthulhu? Channeling your inner
Evie?
Evie. There it is.
Nah, you got it backwards.
Oh.
It's the other way around. Kira playing Evie is channeling her inner Amy.
Yeah, no character that we make can be as into fish as Amy is into fish. Okay, why are you being an asshole?
Space fish. Holy shit. I'm so glad I have a character that'd be into this.
For some reason, every time I open up this PDF, it immediately closes. It is bugged somehow, and that is supremely frustrating.
Well, that's
So
not
that it
good.
becomes fucking relevant.
Mm.
Can I open this from my library on here?
Great. I'm gonna go get more water.
Yeah. You'll take a quick break if you need to while I am fighting.
I'll be right back.
Welcome back.
There's
There we
someone
go.
on their desktop.
Say what?
I was asking if someone was on their desktop.
No, I'm still on my laptop. There was an update arrow that was bothering me.
We should know. There we go. There we go. Okay. This is starting to work appropriately. That's roughly the number of people that we have. That's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, Cody, so that you can roll something in this bit that you are playing podcast mode. Roll me a d10.
Okie dokie.
Mandy, roll me a d10.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm back.
And Amy, roll me a d10.
Oh, okie doke. I got a 2.
Okay.
Dos.
3, a 10, and a 2. So he moves the ship around so that you can see the large aquarium on the back of this mosquito. Or not mosquito, dragonfly ship. And you see that there's a collection of different different types of fish inside, though most of them seem to fall into 3 varieties, just different sizes of the same things. So day 3 on this one. See, first, a bunch of these very small, about the size of your palm, triangular golden fish that he explains to all of you. I need clipping tools. There we go. Is a glodfish. It's goldfish with the L and the O swapped.
Perfect. I want 10.
And he explains to all of you that the glodfish are a relatively popular both pet for their size, but also bait fish for fishermen within the astral sea. And I can share a picture here. dozens of these. They are technically edible, not particularly filling. For the most part, are indeed something more useful to catch something bigger. Then, a little bit longer, and about 1.5 feet long for the smallest one. The largest one, a little over 2 feet long. Almost eel-like in shape, but seeming to be covered in scales? Logically, you know they're scales, but how they move underwater, you'd swear it's hair. And he explains that these are a species of fish that are inedible, that are honestly not even that popular for the purpose of having a pet. But the scales can be harvested as useful tools and materials for other things. There's a fish called the Hadozi whisker. And he starts to talk about another one, but you see that he is rather reticent to talk about the largest fish in the tank. There's only one in there. And it is about 2 feet from top to bottom. Looks kind of squid-like. And has a large single eye within it. Yeah, that's it. And yet he sees the interest. So I imagine that immediately catches the attention of more than a few of you.
Fish.
And he finally is willing to explain what it is. It is called a plasm flare. And it doesn't seem to be moving as freely about the tank as all of the other fish are. Instead, it starts by watching Natterjack. But upon seeing all of you, watches whoever is closest to the tank out of those that are listening to his pitch. And he just kind of nervously seems to be rubbing the side of his face with one tentacle. So, oh, this one's one that I managed to catch only last week. It's well, you keep it around for harvesting. It has a really nasty poison and venom. I wouldn't advise trying to keep it with too many other fish. As soon as I get somewhere that I can set up another tank, it's going in its own.
Harvesting venom gets Booker's attention for sure.
But those are the three that he has pitched to you, and explains that he is more than willing to part with Gladfish for a gold apiece. The Hadozi whisker for 2 gold apiece. He's a little more tight-lipped about the plasm jellyfish. Or not the plasm jellyfish, the plasm flare. It's in the jellyfish family. But says that if you really want it, he can't rightly sell it to you with any other fish. But if you really want it, he can sell it to you for 150 gold.
Oh, whoa, fuck. Well, what a jump. 1, 2, 150.
0 to 100. Sorry, 1 to 150. Real quick. 5 plus Mari.
Damn it.
This
God
is
damn it,
the
Cody,
Mandy
stop it.
roll. Mandy got perfect 10.
So
You're welcome.
just to clarify,
Mhm.
he won't sell us anything else if we buy the plasma, the jellyfish.
Because it'll eat whatever we get with it.
Pretty much.
What if we're really good about keeping them separated from their friends?
You can try to convince him and like say we'll buy 2 aquariums.
Because I will be frank with everyone. I want one of each.
Just one?
Yeah, because they can figure. They're just like one little glodfish, one little hedozi, so that they can hang out with each other, and then you have the horrifying jellyfish that you keep in a different room.
But don't you want a school of glodfish?
This is the Amy coming out. I want an entire tank of them.
I want... Downplaying his survival. Yeah, true. What if we just had a bunch of glodfish? We could just
Listen.
it's lucrative to have your own bait supply.
Here's another thing
Well,
that we all
that's
haven't
not a bad
considered.
option.
What?
Trixie is seeing these fishies. What area did you get them from?
Oh, it's about I think that was about a week and a half back in that direction. Of course, him waving a tentacle in that direction means nothing in the astral sea.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Thousands of light years.
He could be pointing in that direction, and because of the relative fuckery of direction for each of your respective ships, it could be the complete opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Any landmarks you could pass on the way?
Landmark? Well, I mean, I was coming out of Starfish Bay in their fishing area. I just restocked all of my tools and everything like that. So I mean, it was only a few days outside of that. Not really past much of anything between there and here. It was a nasty meteor belt, but I did not catch any of these. He passed the tank in the meteor belt. I avoided it.
Does any of this sound familiar?
Vaguely. Starfish Bay is something that you may have heard in passing as a popular fishery in the astral sea, but you would not have learned much more than that without having a dedicated interest in it.
Do we, like, there aren't any maps or whatever that's like, hey, this is this area, kind of thing.
I mean,
no, you just like the Spelljammer is like, I want to go to Starfish Bay. I want to go to Starfish Bay as they're flying.
Okay.
Remember, intention, not space.
Right.
Which, if we're sort of intentionally fishing for a particular fish, we could probably do our own catching, because Booker does have a fishing pole.
How good is he with the fishing pole?
I've never used it, so I don't know what the stat is, but we'll figure it out.
I will tell you above table if you guys are going to fight about fishing. Fishing is an option you can spend on your downtime. Between all of I have 50 unique species of fish for the astral sea.
Why did I make button?
Yeah, I figured it would be a fin downtime thing.
Perfect.
Give
Pokemon.
Finn a side quest.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Gonna catch all the edible ones.
Yeah, and then make all the recipes with each one. Find all the recipes.
Alright.
So if you just want to, like, say that you get an aquarium from him, you can just buy an aquarium for a gold and catch your own fish in passing.
I say we at least
I already
get
used up all my free
blobfish.
time. Yeah, I still think at least one of each, since that's only 3 gold. But to one of the each of the neutral fish, because that's only 3 gold, and we have 2 fish, and then them's is good pet.
Can we get a breeding pair of the globfish?
Breeding pair of the globfish, so that would be a total of 4 gold. Can Booker be
Okay,
talked into
here's
4
my
gold?
question: Are we breeding them to make bait or to eat?
I assumed
Yes.
bait and pets.
Okay,
You do have to have
Alright.
bait to fish, so
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. Okay, so pair of glodfish to breed, and then the Hadozi one,
Mm-hmm.
and then can we convince him to sell us the plasm flare?
you can try to roll for it.
I would like to try and roll for it, because
Okay.
Booker wants to get the thing that has horrible toxin inside it so that he can just harvest the toxin every once in a while.
So, let me see here.
And the tanks are going in a place where everyone can see them?
On the
It's
flight deck?
persuasion.
Maybe the plasm flare should be in a different spot than the other 2 fish, but still somewhere where everyone can casually go and see it. It won't be in
Mhm.
Booker's room, I promise.
Okay, roll me a persuasion.
Oh, I'm mediocre at this.
It's not great.
11.
You talk to him, and if you are buying the things to keep them in 2 separate tanks, he's willing, but he is not lowering the price to try and dissuade you.
This is fine.
So it'd be 154
How much is it?
total for the 4 fish.
154. Perfect. I'm amenable to this.
Okay.
Is everyone else good with it?
Hell yeah.
We clear? Okay.
I have a question.
Mhm.
This is more so, I know it's a little meta gamey, but does Finn have his own fishing pole? And if not, can we buy an extra one?
Yeah, you can buy.
Booker.
Try to convince him into buying. I know Booker has a fishing pole, but if you guys want
Yeah.
to use this as a pastime, you can buy fishing poles from him, and he also has lures and bait that he is willing to sell as well. They are a little bit more expensive because that is him having to sell you stuff that he is going to have to go back and buy himself.
I volunteer my 15 gold pieces.
Hell yeah.
How much can we get for 15?
So if you give him 15 gold, he will get you a basic fishing pole, which would just allow you to participate in the activity, and a lure that he calls a slug lure, which means that it will essentially attract a certain section of my list of 50 fish.
Okay.
Is
Finn,
there,
that's for you.
is there a better fishing pole?
Not that he has. Not he's willing
Okay.
to give up.
Gotcha.
You have to go to a market someplace and find a fishing pole person. So if Finn is dedicating his 15, you can put that down on Finn's sheet. He has a basic fishing pole and a slug lure.
Slug, like the
Yes.
creature?
Yes.
Okay.
Invertebrate? Yep.
You know, I was thinking of slug as like a fist, like when you punch someone,
Gonna punch a fish.
and I don't know why. Yeah, I was like, man, he's gonna knock the fuck out of the fish and then catch it. Makes sense to me.
I was thinking of like a slug round. So I mean,
Once again, makes sense to me.
Y'all are just violent.
You hunt, you hunt with the you hunt birds with slugs. Why not fish?
Okay. So,
Okay, so
who's
So we
willing
got-
to write down this information about this plasm flare?
I will record it in my sheet for the
Okay.
purposes of keeping fish.
This is actually a semi-intelligent fish that understands, cannot speak, but understands both deep speech and undercommon. It
Hunting.
can and will bite. And it can and will also try to grapple you if you piss it off.
Big is it?
It's about a little over 2 feet long.
Okay, so it's not going to wrestle me into submission. It's going to grab onto me.
Yeah. However, because it has venom and poison, if you are grappled, every round that you are grappled, you must succeed in a DC 16 con save
damn.
or become paralyzed for 1 minute.
For a minute?
Yes.
This thing is vicious.
Yeah, okay.
Have fun harvesting it.
And if it is
Good
taken
luck.
out of water for an extended period of time, it has the ability to emit a stunning sound, which is also a DC 16 con save, or be stunned for a minute.
Can...
You have effectively bought yourself a mandrake,
but
but water.
Perfect.
Good luck, Booker.
And you can make a survival check to try and harvest some of its paralytic.
Perfect.
Have fun with your new pet, Booker.
Alright, we need to implement rules.
For the yes.
Mm-hmm.
Booker
No
can
one
speak to
is-
it.
Yeah. But even then, no one is allowed to be with it alone.
Yep.
Treating this thing like a large-bodied python.
Yeah. Do not play without multiple bodies in the room to make sure.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Fucking Finn and Ori are gonna walk onto the ship and be like, what the fuck?
But you know,
Yeah, we found a guy.
you know, have that, and Nutterjack will give you a little piece of what seems to be petrified wood. Tells you that,
What is this?
well, just in case you ever want to do business in the future, that should help you find me.
Oh,
So you can place that in your orrery, and it should lead you in the direction of Natterjack.
Nice.
There is your random encounter for this leg of your journey.
Wonderful.
Now, we got a little bit of time to do some interaction with the main crew, and then I'm going to cut y'all at 10 to swap over to bringing in the 2 new ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine
Okay.
probably day 1 there is a conversation to be had.
Yes. Booker would want to corral everyone while they're all after they're unwound. Like, you're not going to do this the second we hit the deck of the ship, obviously. But he would want to rally up everybody to get them into a good communal little space. I should clarify. When I say everyone, I mean the PCs plus Micken. We don't
party.
necessarily need the party plus Micken. And we'll get this little group of people to hang out around like dinner table or something. And Booker will open up with, all right, now that we're all settled in and at least a little bit recovered, I'd like to know more about what you know about Nevelier. And he's looking at Button, and he's not angry. He's tense. Like, the subject is a little bit sensitive to him in some way, but he's engaged.
Button just looks at him, looks at Trixie and Micken, and gestures towards Trixie and Micken, and then themselves. All of us know Nevelier.
Why do you want to know about him?
He's someone I knew from a long time ago. And I didn't think I'd ever bump into someone from way back when, out and about here. Or at least, kind of bump into them.
We
Good.
went through the academy with him.
Booker would know what the Spelljammer Academy is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Nod. Yes, he is a friend.
Pretty good flyer. It's
Booker does.
Britons.
Huh.
It's
Booker
a shudder
just
from
nods.
Button.
Booker, he doesn't seem like unhappy or upset with the positive positive reception of Nevelier. More just curious, kind of quizzical. Did he talk about anything from his past? Did he mention anybody? Did he mention why he was at the Spelljammer Academy?
No.
Not really.
He seemed to, I don't know, take it as his duty or the need to spell jam, but he never explained why.
Booker leans on his elbows and he puts his hands together and he's thinking about it, and you can see him trying to figure out, like, he's trying to puzzle out what Nevelier was doing. Because he doesn't know, and none of you had a clear idea of what Nevelier was doing there, aside from just him being at Spelljammer Academy to learn how to spelljam, like what his greater motivation was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really want to visit him or talk to him at some point, he was still at the academy when we left. Of course, I don't know how much the academy is left right now.
Oh, I can try sending another letter. Next time we get to a destination.
But Booker looks a little surprised. He looks at Button and just kind of tilts his head. Would you be willing to do that and mention me? Maybe you shouldn't
But
mention me.
I have a feeling that because Button considers Neville a friend, right? And Button
Mhm.
likes to send letters to everyone that they like, and likes to give them updates on random shit. So there's a chance Button already sent one to Neville that may have mentioned Booker, or at least has one written if they couldn't have sent it.
Yeah, probably has one written.
Yeah, Button reaches into their fucking coat, pulls out a letter. I have it written. However, I have not been able to send it.
Booker opens his mouth and then just closes it and nods. Okay.
I'm gonna be frank with you. If Button sends a letter and does not talk about the captain of whatever ship they are flying on, that would raise more alarm bells than whatever you think Neville might be thinking when they see your name.
Booker just nods and he kind of gets a pretty good picture. Like, nah. He looks at Button and is speaking to Micken, but looking at Buttons is like, Button, you're a straightforward, pretty straightforward kind of person. Ain't no way you would be anywhere near someone without talking directly about them. Probably, right?
Button nods.
Booker nods back, and he looks over to Micken and then to Trixie. So, I don't want to get all, I don't know, reminiscent or whatever, but I think it's only fair that if you all still feel comfortable with me being captain and all, you should at least know a little bit about me. Not everything, he points a finger, but some. Can't trust a captain if you can't. If you can't trust a captain if you don't know nothing about him. Back on Toril, I came from a place that wasn't too kindly to outsiders. Neville was there. So in a way, we're kind of family. I think of him more like a cousin. But this little community, they weren't... He just shakes his head. They weren't right. And they hightailed it off Toril once they got a hold of a Spelljammer of their own. I was with them for a time. When Neville, he got tossed out. Never did know why. I never had anything against the guy. I wasn't told why he was tossed out. But I imagine he probably went to the Spelljammer Academy to find where that little community went. And, as you can probably tell, he gestures to like himself sitting in the chair. I'm looking for them too. They're not good people. They might try to convince you they're good people, but they're not. He looks like he wants to say a little bit more, but he's a little hesitant because he doesn't like how was the vibe from the crew.
Listening mode engaged. engage active listener button.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Micken has questions, but Micken is also smart enough to hold them until he senses an opportunity to ask.
Trixie, like when she first sat down and was kind of her usual self, probably leaning back in the chair a bit, like on the two legs, arms back kind of thing. Like, okay, we're just chatting, whatever. But while Booker was talking, she took a bit more of a like she's not leaning back anymore. She's more serious or listening more intently. And rather than her arms behind her back, her lower arms are kind of folded at her stomach, and then her upper arms are crossed, or not crossed, but also like hands intertwined on top of the table, and she's listening more intently. She definitely has something she want to say, but she has a little bit of like she's putting like puzzle pieces together, what the implications are of what he's saying, at least.
Booker will look lastly to Koya. What is Koya's vibe?
At first, very confused as to why they were there, having not known Nevilier, but is now very empathetic.
You don't need to know all about him, but there's a handful of them that I think it's worth knowing. One of them, above all others. You ever encounter a human male about this tall, Book holds his hand up to his own head. Dark hair, charming features. His name's Von Petty. If you see him anywhere, come get me. Don't talk to him.
Micken stops, holds his hand over his mouth. See the nervous twitch, and finally, I assume that means he's done some really bad things.
Booker stares really hard at Micken, and it is a stare that is not. It is like it's a lot like the character image. He gives Micken a really hard stare, but he's not angry at Micken, and all of whatever ire and anger and energy of like negativity and all of that is pointed at the name Von Petty, and Booker just nods.
Neville never did any of these bad things, right? Because he doesn't seem like he would. Please tell me he didn't.
Booker thinks about it, and he slowly shakes his head no. Not that I can recall. I had a couple of friends. A couple of close friends who were actually involved with tossing him out. If I had to guess, I'd guess that Nevalier was probably one of the best of the people there. And that's why he got thrown out. Sorry you got second place captain here, when you had the first place back home.
Booker, we're not placing you against him.
And to be fair. Well, he didn't call me any names, which is a plus, but, I don't think we would be here with Nevelier. He was very by the books. He seems to be looking between Button and Iris, or not Iris, Trixie, for like, is that a good description?
There's a nod.
Yeah.
He was a good captain. And the two of you are very different. However, you are still good.
So, above table here, I'm asking to clarify. Nevelier wasn't the captain at any point, right? Like, this is all in trading.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he was kind of like the group leader.
He
Simulation
was a
captain.
leader. He was definitely in a leadership role, but he wasn't
Yeah.
Actual captain, no.
Yeah. So okay. I don't want to make an ass of
Booker-
myself.
He probably would have been in the time span between the bit of academy that y'all played through and the time y'all left the planet. Because remember, there was a 2-ish month time period there where you guys were actively doing spell jamming. Probably
yeah.
would have been in more
Okay.
senior positions, never the captain, but was still kind of like, okay, this group is on board. This is the one that's in the leader position. Like, this person
Yeah.
is in charge of dealing with these 3.
Okay, but point is, I don't want to make an ass out of Trixie here.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. And to be fair, he never really was captain. I mean, yeah, he was better at keeping things in line and whatnot, but not really full-on leadership, you know?
He did tell you no
Booker-
a few times.
Between the comment from Button and Trixie, Booker seems like a you know how you feel when you see Batman in one of the Batman animated series like do the sympathetic eyebrows where his little white eyes like tilt in the opposite direction from angry? It's kind of like that, where Booker's brow isn't like furrowed angry or contemplative. It tilts in the opposite direction where it makes the upward pointed eyebrows. And he's a little surprised. Caught him off guard. Hit him in the feels. But he shakes his head and just kind of clears that animation. Right. Well, good to know.
Do you
I
want to talk to him?
Booker kind of thinks about it for a second. I don't know about that. I don't know if he'd have nothing good to say to me. For good reason. When he was getting thrown out, I was watching. Not helping, but watching.
I mean, well, Button sends a letter back just about every time they can. Looks towards the Button.
Nod.
You could probably fit another letter in the envelope, right?
Nod.
Just gesture towards Button as he looks back towards Booker.
Booker kind of stares into the middle of the table, not really at anything, just kind of stares in thought. And he inhales once real deep and exhales. I'll think about it. It might be worth doing. But I need to think about it.
Well, you'll have plenty of time. Kind of need to save Toro before I think any letters are going to get there.
Booker just kind of casually tilts his head. Yeah, I gotta save Toril. You've got family there, don't you?
I have a fiance there. Yes.
He was saying that to Trixie.
Micken will still say that.
And Booker said, I gotta say Coral, right? And Trixie will cut in and be like, we, and do a circular motion with her finger to like point at the group kind of thing. But yeah, I do. And I mean, I don't want to lose my home, my family.
Booker looks over to Koya. Sorry, he looks over to Koya and just goes, "You're not from Toril, but you're still game to help with saving it and all that, right?"
I believe Charlie is AFK.
Damn it, Charlie.
Mhm.
Then
Turn to Macon. What were you gonna say?
he will turn instead to Button and say,
Oh.
Do you have family on Toril? Do you have family?
I feel like Button is mildly offended by that. It's look at
Wow.
Booker showing his
Booker.
ignorance very plainly, like, I don't know how do you have brothers and sisters, or
It's like you've never
Do you have,
really
like, a
confirmed
creator?
what you are, technically.
Wow, Booker, really?
what? I've never met an automaton.
Button.
Just
Look,
shake
call
your
me
head.
ignorant, but I'm trying to do better.
To be fair, he does need to ask questions to figure it out.
Booker nods and he's like, "See, Wizard Boy gets it."
I need to roll
Yeah,
something.
just assuming you don't have family. Someone doesn't have family. Yeah, that makes sense. Totally. 100%.
I do have family. Because I am a gnome.
Well, what kind of family you got back at home?
I have... Button pauses for a second. I have a sibling, and I have parents.
Can I roll an insight check?
Yeah.
Insight versus deception.
Yeah. It's not gonna be good. It's not good. I got a 3.
Well, I didn't roll much better than you. I got a 7.
Yeah,
Booker is somewhere
that-
between, like, if it were anyone else, I would know that they're lying. But Button is not just anyone. This could just be a quirk of how they're talking right now.
It's like, is this a quirk, or is this the bullshit that it feels like?
Button is avoiding eye contact, which is not usual. Usually they just stare into your soul while they talk. But this time they're looking at the table.
Does Booker get an idea if this is, like, avoidant embarrassed or avoidant, like, trauma?
Because of how low that one was, I don't think he does. He knows avoidance
Fair enough.
something.
Avoided something. Above table, you're free to keep fucking poking and pestering.
Booker, before he says anything else, he's gonna look at Trixie.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and? What, do I have something like this?
Booker pinches the bridge of his nose. your parents and sibling, or they're on Toril waiting for you. Did they
But-
send you off to Spelljammer Academy?
Button straightens up, looks at Booker. Yes. In a way.
In a way. What does that mean?
They hesitate again. Mother? I think. No. They're like fake coughing. They don't actually need to cough.
Yeah,
Trying.
Booker will comment on that, like, are you coughing? Have you ever coughed before?
No.
I mean, they have in the past.
Just to mimic.
Still counts.
No, it doesn't.
Agent Button just looking at the table again. Oh no.
Booker will tilt his head until he is like close to eye level with Button, which is an like a really exaggerated lean down to where I imagine his head is just about pressed flat to the table. And he has to poke his head below hat level, not like close to examine, but like beneath the brim.
Insight.
I make me?
And no, as in like with insight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turn to look.
Girl, he'll just ask very plain faced because like Button's pretty plain faced most of the time. But girls will say, "Are you okay, guy?"
Yes.
Now I can't tell if you're lying or struggling to figure out that you're okay. I normally think of myself as a pretty good people reader. But I mean, he just gestures to you.
Well, I mean, if something were wrong with them, they wouldn't just be sitting there, right?
God, fuck if I know. Look at Button. Is something wrong with your family?
No.
What?
Booker looks a little defeated at that. He was almost expecting something to be wrong with the family.
What's with what is it? Is the term third degree? What is third?
Yeah, the third degree.
Yeah. What's with third degree?
Well, hell, I just got to be vulnerable in front of everyone. I was just trying to get it out of someone else, I guess. He crosses his arms.
Are there burns?
Wrong third degree. Wrong third degree.
There's another.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
I'm
Button
not here.
Sorry, again?
Oh, no, you first. You first.
Then just looks up at Booker, and there's just this like weirdness about them that's not normal. There's a different aura of like you would probably describe it as like trepidation, of like nervousness almost.
Booker kind of scrunches his mouth, and he'll look at the others. Does either Micken or Trixie or Koya seem concerned about this at all?
Trixie is definitely trying to divert attention. That's very clear. Because she's worried.
But there's
about
no
her.
okay.
See,
It's more of a like, hey, back off.
Yeah.
Micken does look like there is a puzzle box on the other end of the table. He's not verbalizing anything. You can see the gears working, though. The hamster wheel's turning.
I feel like Button probably reaches over. It's probably like a cup of water or something, right? For someone.
For
Button
someone.
Button will steal it. And just carefully, slowly tip it back and drink it like a normal person would.
If you want to shift above table, if you want to shift attention, or Booker would want to shift attention, Charlie is back.
Charlie.
Booker will just go, all right. And he turns to Koya. You don't have family on Toril, but you're still okay with helping running with us. Considering we helped you with giving you a lift and all.
I mean, he did destroy what was my home, I guess. I take that back. It's not home. It was a place to sleep.
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly what happened with everything with you, but if you're looking for another place to settle, better be on a ship that's traveling. Nervous jazz hands.
I'm fine. I keep helping.
Booker nods and very affirmatively just, good. Good to hear. Well, that's enough deep and meaningful conversation for one afternoon. Meeting adjourned. And Booker will, bang his fist on the table once. Not hard, but, imitating a gavel.
Micken just kind of, tilts his head. And as everybody starts to get up, he looks at Booker. Probably would be better to try to talk to Nevalier sooner rather than later. I was planning on inviting both of you to the wedding, so letter's probably better now. She starts to get up to leave.
Booker blinks for a second. You were going to invite me to your wedding?
I mean, so long as Sarah said yes.
Booker considers this for a moment. And he hopes that she does say yes. But he does not voice it. He just nods. And then nods again a little bit more enthusiastically, yeah, okay. He will awkwardly shuffle away. He's clearly thinking about what Micken said, both the Nevalier thing and also the wedding thing.
Okay. So, as the table goes your separate directions, rest of your journey through the Astral Sea, aside from the strange interaction with the flump fisherman, goes relatively well. Relatively calmly and peacefully. Oh god. You're gonna fucking break Micken again. What's a wife? What's a wedding? Get this. Okay. So, the rest of your journey goes pretty peacefully. And shit. Eventually, you notice that the muted kind of silver purple haze of the astral sea starts to grow a little more colorful. Silvery haze thins, and reds and yellows and oranges, that swirl of rainbow that you associate with wild space begins to slowly mix in. And until you see, at first, far away, then growing larger and larger and larger. And last 2 days of your journey, so starting on day 11 and then into day 12, you find yourself having to navigate a sea of colossal, smoky gray crystal fragments. Crystals that dwarf the Lady Luck. Each one seemingly almost perfect. There's no scratches or cracks or anything on any of them, but you all realize, what you remember learning about Doomspace, it's the remnants of the crystal sphere that once surrounded and protected this wild space. And there is an eeriness to the sea of shards that you fly through. So you don't see anything moving. You don't hear anything else. It feels like walking through a graveyard almost. And on the end of the second day, you come to the other end of the labyrinth of crystal. And you are confronted not with the rainbow stretch of starry night that you would know from realm space, but a silent and lifeless black gives new meaning to dead of night. Yet you keep flying forward, guided by the orrery, until on the evening of the 13th day, you see a yawning black vortex rimmed with light in front of you. And you realize that that is the core of Doomspace. That is the great eye at the center. None of you have ever seen a black hole before. Generally, the crystal spheres that have them in it have long since been evacuated, so there's no real reason to go to any of them. And the few that pop up within the astral sea generally can be avoided by just willing the ship not to go near it. Yet this, there's a drop in the pit of your stomach as you realize you have to go towards what is possibly the most base and core monster of nature. Something that eats everything. But the Ori continues to point forward. Not directly at the Eye of Doom, thankfully, but just off to one side. As you fly, you begin to see rock fragments and planets and moons in the distance, growing larger and larger. And finally, you see one planet with 2 moons circling it. At least 2 moons that you can see. You start to fly towards one of the moon. And Crux, it's been pretty much on the deck of the ship since you got past the crystal shards. Points them out. Well, that's a rune. That's where we need to go from what I understand. Any luck, that's still where Blastimov is. Knowing him, he's probably got half these moons into some sort of fighting shape at this point. Anything this original crew would like to say or do?
Hold Toad closer.
Toad, don't go towards the black hole. It's a bad thing.
Stay in the hat.
Do we know where we have to go relative to, like,
You know the planet.
the Eye of Doom? We know the planet? Okay.
You're going to a room.
Gotcha.
Alright.
It's the largest of the moons of Inn. So you saw Inn, and you saw 2 of its moons from your position.
Perfect.
And just as a reminder, within world knowledge is the Doomspace map.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The stars
There's
are
not like a
cool.
way. There's not like a way we could swing by some of the other nearby moons on our way to a rune to just kind of, like, I don't know, peek?
Not easily, no.
Damn it. That makes sense.
You gotta get to a rune so I can give you Fendenori.
Mm-hmm.
Stay on script.
Setting
Okay.
course.
Just want to make sure that I was wondering, like, okay, are we supposed to go straight to a rune, or are we not going? I don't know. Let's go to a rune. Full steam
Iris,
ahead.
Did you say something?
Oh, just in character comment.
Which was?
Oh. Stories don't really don't describe it very well.
Yeah, they never do.
And given another couple of decades, and stories is all's gonna be left of this place. Unfortunate, it is a sight to see.
Can't imagine a lot of people are going to see this before their life ends. So this is once in several lifetimes worth of stuff we are getting to see here. Hey, Bug? I'll, like, elbow you, Trixie.
Sorry, repeat that.
Booker basically was like, "Hey, this is like super once in a lifetime. Isn't that cool?"
Yep.
Eh?
Definitely don't think my bro has done anything like this.
Takes another full day to get to a rune, and Micken helms the Lady Luck as you get closer. Let you all know that you are entering into the gravitational pull of the moon, so that all of you can head up to the deck and look over it. From orbit, even, you can see flashes of light that jump from pillar to pillar. The entire surface seems to be covered in this mix of dense jungle, but not old. Jungle that seems to be young enough all the trees are still short and low cut. The jungle only seems to be one side of the planet, as the other is a wasteland of rock and almost desolation. Yet the entire moon is dotted with these pillars that reach out above the foliage, that stick out above the wastelands of rock, several stories high. And you're not sure what is causing, but it seems like lightning just jumps from one pillar to the next, constantly moving, never leaving, but never bouncing back to the same pillar somehow. And as the ship is guided lower, carefully avoiding the densest clusters of pillars that stick out from the foliage, you all look and you can't find anywhere that looks particularly safe and even enough for the ladybug to land. Best you can find is a plateau that sticks out and raises a section of trees a little higher than the rest. Decent place for scouting, perhaps. And Crux just looks towards you, Booker, and kind of gives you a pat on the back. Maybe an away team this time? I'd like to join you if I could request it.
Booker will smile, then like a kind of cocky, self-assured smile. If you think you can handle it.
He just smirks and swings around the musket that is hooked over his shoulder and gives it a pat. Got my rank one way or another.
Booker will nod. And I guess we're getting ready to depart.
Lower the rope
Some
for Button Tiny.
rope ladder can be tossed over the side, so you all can get down to the ground. As you all are climbing down, one after the other, Flinch, still on the ship, with a spyglass, looking off into the distance. Can't really say for sure, but looks like there might have been something crashed. About a mile, 2 off northward. He points. Of course, northward is very much him just guesstimating what north might be. in this situation, but he does give you a direction to move in.
Well, I mean, that's a direction.
Yeah. Seems good.
Say less.
Is there enough, is it clear enough that maybe Trixie could fly a little higher and kind of keep everyone in the right direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can fly just above the trees and keep them going, and you'd be able to confirm after just a little bit. It looks like there was something that happened in that direction. You're not sure what. Doesn't look like it's jungle or wasteland. But our main group of Button, Koya, Trixie, Booker, and Crux this time head off into the jungle. And let me see this. Here.
Into the jungle.
Where did this go? There it is. The jungle is just alive with sounds. You hear things moving, though you don't see them. You feel like a lot of whatever is there is actively avoiding all of you as you make your way through. And Crux, for his credit, seems more than happy to pull out a machete and just chop his way through the jungle. Perhaps a little bit with a little more gusto than he necessarily needs. But he has been given a path towards an old friend. And you give him enough time to hack his way through and tromp his way through, there's a nice little path for those of you that are smaller and lighter weight, following behind the giant hippo. But as you get closer and closer towards that strange opening in the forest, let me move you all over here. You suddenly hear
Whoa.
shots ringing out from some sort of gunpowder rifle.
Oh, we're running now.
Uh-oh. Fucking
Knives
full
out.
speed.
As you go crashing towards the shots, just at the edge of your view, you see figures running in your direction, and at first you have to kind of blink and make sure that you're not seeing things, as what at first you swear is a doppelganger of Crux is running in your direction, shooting back over their shoulder. But nope, that's definitely not Crux. And I will do this. You see a GIF in a seemingly military style outfit that is kind of ripped and torn and dirty in different spots, with a large musket barreling through, and behind him you see two smaller figures trying to keep pace, but also very much harried by whatever is chasing them. Mandy, if you'd like to describe your character.
Yeah, she is kind of, well, she's in the character creation. She's kind of a bluish, pale bluish gray skin with blue, different crystals poking out in different places. Hair is white and very long, but with like a purpley gray sheen to it. She is about 5'6", and is complementing the figure that is shooting and running in front of them. Just about how in shape they must be to keep up such a pace. And just she has a little creature that's like clinging on for dear life. It looks like a little cat monkey. And I guess that's it.
And trying his damnedest to keep up with the long-legged folks. Cody, would you like to describe your character?
Yeah, so shortly behind is a 4-foot tall halfling that does not appear to be dressed as an adventurer, breathing heavily, carrying what looks like cooking utensils, wearing a what again is close to a chef's hat, very white and fluffy. Yeah, and as Ori is complimenting Blasimoff. Is that his name? Blasimoff?
Yes.
Yeah. He's exasperatingly saying, I didn't eat enough for this.
Let's go.
So you see these three barreling towards you. Crux is running as fast as he can. A bit as nice as it has been following him as he is just chopping his way through the jungle. Speed is not one of his strong suits. As you can hear him immediately winded within just the first couple of seconds of running. But he's running. And Booker, as the one closest to him, you hear in between gasps for breath. There he is. That's our man. And
The lookalike?
over fallen trees and bits and shrubs of foliage, and even crawling around some of the thicker chunks, you just catch sight of movement at first before you see. Are those giant starfish crawling towards you? And you just have that realization before one raises up on a tentacle and launches what looks like a seed towards Ori and Finn and Blastmoff. And just a foot and a half behind Finn, the seed explodes. And you realize, oh, that's what they're running from. And with that, let me see here. Everybody, roll initiative.
Hey.
What a way to be introduced.
Are we supposed
Iris.
Yeah, we're rolling initiative.
Holy crap, that is a nat because I have a +0.
Nice. Okay, can you add me to initiative? My thing's not working.
Finn ate some quick snacks.
There you go.
Thank you.
I rolled a 15 on D&D Beyond, but it didn't sync up to the thingy.
Hold on. Okay, you should be able to edit your thing in the turn tracker. Where are you?
Hey.
Crux, there you are.
I got an 18.
Don't worry, guys. It's back to normal for a button. I got a 3. My little fucking legs.
Okay, you should be able to edit Trixie as well.
Refresh my page because I'm having issues.
What an apt name.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot edit Trixie.
What'd you get for Trixie?
18.
And let's find this.
Don't worry, guys. We'll save you. Fucking giant starfish got hands.
Yup.
Hmm.
For visuals. Open image.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is what some of them look like.
Sick.
And the biggest one, double check what's the biggest one. Yeah, the biggest one that's trailing behind the group looks like this. Okay. So I do not expect us to get fully through this combat, but I'd like to get through a round or two before we call it for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Simply to give the opportunity for everybody to start using those sheets. So that means, Finn, you're not 20. You're
Best
up
as fuck.
first. You're being chased by a whole bunch of starfish, and one of them just shot an exploding seed at you. Of course, you've been shot at multiple times by exploding seeds at this point. You're kind of tired of it.
Yeah. So
You do see
sorry.
people in the distance that are running towards you, so
Mhm.
potentially help.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash towards them.
Okay.
So that's all. Is it all the way to them? 50? Like right here-ish. A little bit
Wow.
further. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Trixie.
Well, I cannot see anything on the board. It's all black.
Okay. Oh.
Trixie blind. Trixie, your eye mask is still on.
Swear, I reset your token shit every single time.
Sorry.
I don't know what's wrong with your
I can't
token.
control it. I don't know. Do I need to drag it on or something?
No, it's there.
I don't even see it.
It's at the bottom of the page.
Does she have ownership of it?
She should. Do you see it now?
Nope.
Try dragging a Trixie on there.
Oh, hey. Light.
Here.
Hey. Let's see how far I can go.
Quite a ways.
And it's control? to do the... Oh, alt, maybe?
That's a Joe and Amy question. They know how to do that.
What are you doing?
The fun line
Trying
thing.
to...
You
Yeah.
gotta hit Q.
Cute. Okay.
Hold Q and then click your character token.
So, Q.
Do you have not the measurement tool, the regular?
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go. Ah! No. That fuck. Okay, there we go. Good to know. So that'd be 85, 90 feet I've got of movement.
Jesus Christ.
So I can get like here. And then how far is this? That's 20 feet?
Careful not to run so far out that you get surrounded and circle kicked by the starfish.
What?
Yeah.
No, that'd never happen.
Trixie, please. You're a monk.
That would never happen.
That is the appropriate gif.
It's like, oh, people to help. Sees a fucking 6 foot something moth run in the opposite direction past you. What?
Okay. I'll move here if I can get on top of this tree here.
Yep.
So that's okay.
I will say if you're on top of the tree, if you're aiming for the one that's just on the side of the map, he would be under the tree and thus undercover from you.
Oh, I was just trying to, like, hoping when they moved in to this area to hit him, essentially.
Okay.
So, like,
Dive bomb.
kind of standing on a branch or some shit, you know?
Trixie from the top rope.
Slightly elevated.
Wait.
You go there.
Oh, okay. I see what happened.
Oh, there's one right here.
Yeah, I told you he's under the tree.
Okay, I can't see him.
No,
'Cause
not
of the
if you're on
tree.
top of the tree.
Well, no, I mean, I couldn't see him from down there. Anyways. Okay, understood. I'm gonna move here then. This will work.
Okay.
Find a vantage point from the branches.
Is that your turn?
That's my bonus action. Dash.
Goddamn.
Monks. Okay. I mean, I'll just ready to attack anything that comes right here, in this area.
Gotcha. Koya, there's a fight up ahead. This is also an area that is very big and very open.
Oh shit. In Biggin?
I think this is my normal form, no?
Do what?
I think this is my giant form.
You get a little bit bigger.
Fog. Okay, we'll do that while doing normal movement, then dash action.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Mhm.
how big I'm allowed to get.
Okay, show me where you're going, and then I will adjust your token. Because you're allowed to shift into a large.
Fucking huge.
60 feet gets me there.
Koya goes thundering by, growing a little bit bigger with each step.
Finn is awestruck.
Who the fuck are these people?
And why are they giants?
Rory, some interesting things are happening.
Seeing that, Ori's like, Major, I am not sure what is about to go down here. However, she like loops her arm around his and like may I escort you to a safer location, or at least to some cover?
And he's huffing and puffing as well, but you just see a nod.
Okay, so her arms looped, and you just see a almost like an anime explosion of sparkly light as they dimension door to the other side behind the group.
Okay, move your token where you would like to drop them off.
Fucking, I'm like, you had that the whole time.
You save things. You don't just go use them when there's a couple of starfish chasing you. However, now we're on all sides. Let's see. That is like dimension door was what 500 feet. Is that? Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Just behind the group. Yeah. Let me grab my token and
About
just
here?
move. Yeah, we're over here,
Hi.
and just
Hello.
poof out and be like, hi.
And Ori, you all now see that you are closer. At the start of this is a similarly huffing and puffing gif that looks shockingly similar to Blast 'em Off. But Booker, it is your turn.
Booker does a double take at the two hippos and just ignores them and shakes his head and continues to move forward. He is gonna go right about there. And no, there's none hiding around any corners that I can see. So he's gonna use his move, and then he's gonna use his action to dash. And he will dash there. And that will be his turn, I think. As well as readying his daggers.
Okay. Brings us to Blast 'em Off's turn. So he pops up behind the group with Ori, kind of towering over Button. Now, Button is by themselves, surrounded by tall people, tall things, and large things. And
Straight up.
Blast 'em Off, like, blinks, turns around, tries to reorient himself, gives Ori a little pat on the back as he is doing so, spots Crux, and you see both of them kind of like pointing at each other and like they are trying to talk, but they are both out of breath. And then he points from Crux to the starfish and will give Ori like a nod and thanks, but seeing that there is now a line of people in between him and the starfish, will head in that direction a little ways so that he can try and shoot. So let me... And by the time he manages to walk back this direction to essentially be right beside Finn, where Finn has been able to kind of turn and spot and see all these people just thundering past him. Looks like we're on the attack now. And
Remember to pace yourself in through your nose and out through your mouth.
let's see the distance here. Be useful if I could see the entire length. There we go. Before. If I'm not mistaken, that does reach within his limits. There you go. He will aim his musket downrange This will unfortunately be at disadvantage at this distance, but something is better than nothing. Whew! That's a -1. No. 9. 9. There you go. Addition, not subtraction. That does not hit. He will try again. The second shot, and that also will not hit. So he fires 2 sprays of musket pellets. You just hear it go whizzing by you, Booker, towards one of these smaller starfish creatures right here. But neither one manages to hit. And then, much to your surprise, then you see another gift coming up to your other side. Looks very similar to Blast 'em Off. Not exactly the same, but it does give you a weird sense of deja vu as he tries to fire as well. Those don't hit either. But it is your turn.
A
You've
lot
got
is
a ways to
happening.
go.
All right. Tap, 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 tap. Fucking people appear next to them. Hello. Goodbye. Tap, 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 tap. Fucking sprint. Trying to run up. It's like, okay, their little legs cannot take them very far. They're going to bonus action Shillelagh. Have that shit ready. Action. We're going to go ahead and we're going to summon Beast. We're going to call Toad in for the assist. And we're going to go ahead and position Toad over here by Koya. Because we got 90-foot range on this.
Okay.
Oop. Here comes Toad. Ready to help. Hold the line. And that's it.
Okay.
Oh, I want to specify. I'm casting this at 3rd level, slightly upcasted.
Tankier Toad.
Mm-hmm.
And would you like to do anything with Toad?
I believe he can move. I don't want him to fall into the trap Trixie almost fell into. So no, we're just going to go ahead and ready action to attack anything that comes near him. Gonna get a bite.
Okay, now it's the monster's turn. And at your distance, not a lot. You're going to focus on moving first. So this one will end up getting underneath Trixie. This one will not be able to be gotten by you, Trixie, because it's underneath you.
Understood.
This one is... gets about here. This one gets about here. Essentially all of them are... there we go. If you have something you would like to say you threw at this one, I would allow it, Trixie. So this would be a little bit beyond your range with just standard meteor hammer.
Yeah, it's 11. Do I have anything to throw?
Dagger? A dart?
Yeah,
Flipping the bird?
darts. Yeah, I have darts.
I'll let that stand for your ready to action so it doesn't go to waste.
Thank you.
18 will hit for 8 damage.
I does second attack quick here?
For readied action, generally not.
Okay.
Not unless it's a, like, full-on, like, rogue style, knock them out and then stab them all at the same time.
No, it's just the second attack.
Yeah. Yes. So you'll start over here. This one. Let's get the ranges. Okay, they got some good ranges here. Koya looks big and mean and is coming towards them very quickly. So, first Weedling will shoot a radiant pellet towards Koya. And this is gonna be not great. I'm assuming a 9 does not beat your AC.
Nope.
The middle one just got shot by Trixie. And is going to look up, realize she is up at the top of the tree, and you see out from underneath it a thick, which at first you think is a tentacle or tendril of it, covered in a thick, slimy green goo, shoots out to try and grab you. I need a dex save.
Why does it not want to roll? It just keeps opening up decks.
Well, just roll a d20 and add.
Yeah. That's a +7.
+7. Alright, so the long tendril snaps out and reaches towards you, and you're able to just sidestep it. And you can see it grab at some leaves, and the leaves seem to immediately stick and get caught in the glue as the tendril retracts very quickly. And all of you that see it realize, yeah, with as fast as that shoots out and comes back, that thing can drag you. But
That doesn't sound fun.
underneath Trixie, can't see Trixie. It can see Booker though. So it's going to shoot a radiant pellet at Booker. And that is a 14, which I don't think passes your AC.
Thankfully, no.
So that's sweet things. Next one's the medium ones. Check. Yes.
Sorry, I'm thinking. Nothing, go ahead.
Okay. These two medium ones. Let me see their distance. Okay. So the top one is going to shoot twice at Koya as the biggest person right now. Does a
Hits.
17 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay, the second one will not hit you though. And you will take as a seed launches towards you and strikes right middle of the stomach and explodes. You'll take a total of 13 radiant damage. And you are kind of stumble back a half step with the force of the explosion. This other one, Trixie has shot at one of its friends. It's not happy about that, so logically that's the one that's gonna have to pick. Does a dirty 20 hit you?
Yes, it does.
For 8 radiant damage.
So, I doubt, but I'm gonna ask anyways. Deflect missiles?
No, not for these.
Okay.
Because the damage is not coming from the force of it being there. You deflect the missile, you grab it, and it explodes in your hand.
God.
I mean, you can try to grab an explosive if you want, but I don't think it's going to be a fun time.
No, probably not.
And last one. How many times do you attack? Okay. It's also going to shoot twice. First one here. Well, that's not going to hit Koya. Second one, Trixie. That's also not going to hit Trixie. So, there's just explosions all over the place. It's not really hitting in general, but it's a lot. But I think, start of the round, that's where we will call it for this evening. Finn will start us off next session with how the fuck are we gonna deal with these starfish that have been actively hunting Finn and Ori and Blastmoth for a little while now. They're not fun. Officially, Finn and Ori are in the campaign. Yay!
Happy to be here.
And
we've only got a handful of lines, but I love them already.
oh, I should do this before it's done because both of you have heard the descriptions. Well, to be fair, the main crew, the original crew, and Koya. Describe your characters in case there's anything that has been changed since last time you described for Cody and Mandy. So start off, Joe. Describe Booker, please.
I think Joe walked away for a second.
Damn it. Amy.
I should have spoken up. Okay. That's what I get. So, Button is a little guy. 3 foot tall max. The hat adds about a foot past that. Very wide brimmed hat. You can't see their face, but you can see very bright eyes underneath, poking out. They've got a heavy book pack and like a book bag, and a cloak, and they've just got so many little baggies and like little pouches, all of them like brimming with paper of some sort, or parchment, or pens, or other random collected specimens in little jars that they've got sloshing around in there. Most notably, they have a giant fucking staff that they use, usually as a walking stick, quote unquote, but in combat it is the bonking stick. And they are running at full pace, which isn't very fast, but they're trying.
Iris, would you like to describe Trixie, please?
She a tall, very tall moth. That is all legs and arms. She has kind of like a really pale green wing. Her eyes are black and green. She has black little antennae. Her hair is white as the moonlight, or silver as the moonlight, I guess. Yeah, it's very cute. Oh.
Charlie, would you like to describe Koya for us?
282 centimeters, because we're doing this by JP standards. It's essentially 9 feet tall.
Have they gotten even bigger now that they're embiggened?
That's her full height.
Damn.
Very samurai aesthetic. Beetle coated. And they've got face markings. They look too serious, I'm gonna say. They've had a bad time lately.
And I'll also point out they're in essentially heavy armor with a giant ass glaive.
They also have an extra eye.
Oh, yes. Can't forget about that.
The vertical eye in the center of the forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe, would you describe Booker
Hi.
for us?
Describe Booker? Booker is a light purple tiefling with horns that look kind of bent, like they were unfurled. He doesn't have a tail. He has black eyes with yellow irises that have the slitted pupils. And he has a kind of sour expression on his face most of the time. With medium length, kind of medium long hair that he keeps usually tied behind his, tied back. And he wears a dark, heavy leather looking coat with black trousers and a white kind of flowy shirt underneath. And he has got a bandolier with so many daggers on it. And they're all different. They're all special, unique, little special knives.
And that is our crew. But I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm sorry it was a little bit podcast mode for both Cody and Mandy, but you're here.
Yay!
You guys are gonna be the star of the show, because what the fuck happened?